So Ellie Reeves is doing the media bandwagon. It's amazing. We've lost Runcorn. Let's send Ellie Reeves out. Seriously, is that the best you can do? This is not going to help you, Labour. I can promise you that. But she is out on the campaign trail doing all the media. And she says, in the voice that sounds exactly the same as her sister, so that's its first issue. People just turn off because they don't like the sound of Rachel Reeves. They certainly don't like the sound of Ellie Reeves, because she's the younger, less qualified version of her older sister who's wielding the axe all over the country for every single demographic. But Ellie's been sent out, the lamb to the slaughter, and she says people are impatient for change. It doesn't happen overnight. Well, why are people impatient for change, Ellie? It wouldn't be anything to do with all the manifestos and pledges that the Labour Party made, saying they were going to change things and they were going to act fast and drive high and rising standards. It was your very own words that said you were going to turn this round, you know, like a complete U-turn. You could smell the rubber on what Labour were going to do in turning this round, and then all of a sudden you couldn't. You haven't and you can't, because your plans don't stack up, so you're spending more time undoing what you're doing. So Ellie talks about NHS waiting lists are down over the last 6 months. It's just not true. They're not. We all know they're not. And again, if anyone's on an NHS waiting list, you know they're not down. And the reason you know that they're not down is because you haven't had your appointment, or your appointment's been pushed back, or your clinic has been cancelled. So it's a really good way to say that NHS waiting lists are down, because how can you get rid of some numbers? I know. You cancel the clinic, then there is no waiting list, so it can't be counted. So Ellie, that's just a lie, isn't it? And you're saying this to people who are on NHS waiting lists. So we know that when we get the letter through for the appointment, which is in 6 months' time, we go, yeah, no, it's not down, is it, Ellie? You've got that one wrong. Then she says, we've given a pay rise to 3.5 million workers. Well, yes. Now, again, Ellie, it's a great headline. Ooh, doodaloo. It's a great headline, but it falls down on the fact that you haven't mentioned that you've increased every other outgoing that worker will have to face. So you could have given them monopoly money for all that it matters, because there's no point having a pay rise if everything else is rising. And the perfect example of this is the pensions rise, where oh look, we've given pensioners some more money, but we're going to absolutely spank them on heating their house. So you haven't actually bridge the gap. What you've done is go, here's a tiny little pay rise, and this is the pay rise in all of your utility bills, your insurance, your cost of living, everything else is going up exponentially, but we're giving you a little bit so that we can say we've given you a pay rise. It's a lie. You haven't. She then talks about breakfast clubs. We're rolling out breakfast clubs. As quickly as you're rolling them out, schools are rolling them back in. The reason that they're rolling them back in is A, it's not free, Ellie. It's not free. Reeves sisters, let's go to Economics 101. If someone's paid for something up front, like the taxpayer for the breakfast clubs, it's paid for. If they don't pay for it, like say the charitable breakfast clubs that were in place, then it's free. What your sister did was she got rid of the charitable free breakfast clubs and she replaced them with the state ones, which the taxpayer had paid for. So the taxpayer paid for children to have breakfast, and they paid less than the charities were funding. So the schools have between 25 and 60 pence a child to give them a breakfast, which has been paid for by you, and you're saying it's free. It's not free, and it can't be covered by the school budgets, which you've cut. So yes, Ellie, people are impatient, but I think the most important thing to remember in all of this is they're impatient for you to leave. Oh, there's that thing again. Do you know what? I actually love it. I don't know why it does it. Hey, there I am back again. Fireworks, Ellie. You had fireworks, but it wasn't to celebrate your job. It was when I said people are impatient for you to go. Off you pop.